Hi everyone, Justin here with CrossViews, and today I want to talk about getting that high-level, bird's-eye, 40,000 foot view of what's going on with your projects, with your demands, with your change requests in ServiceNow. What's that big picture look like? These dashboards are great. I get roll-up information and summary data, but oftentimes we get asked, how do I get that vision, that timeline of what's going on and what's coming so that we can plan appropriately? In the past, we've shown people things like the CIO roadmap that's available out of the box. This is just a visual representation of the projects broken down by time and by portfolio, because you kind of get a sense of what's coming. It's great to look at. Sometimes we recommend timeline pages, which is what you're seeing here. I've got projects loaded up. You can change what shows when you hover over these and what shows underneath the bars and the timelines along the bottom. And then quite recently, we had scenario planning. This is where it's showing the actual projects or demands within a portfolio, and I can plot out different scenarios. If we do this many, if we do that many, how does that look timeline-wise? How does that affect our cost and our human resources that might be impacted by which projects we choose to do and which ones we choose not to do? Now recently, what I want to show you today is a new capability called roadmaps. And it's really easy to configure this, and we can do it for all types of records within ServiceNow. We're going to focus on projects, changes, epics, and programs and demands within this demonstration. So it's as simple as creating a new roadmap. We can give it a name, and we want to set a start and end date. So this is basically when we want to see what, for that timeline, what's going to show up on the actual display when we're doing that. So I'm just going to do a full year from July 1st through June 30th. We'll just call this a roadmap. And notice I can specify the source table. I'm going to change this to project, and I can set a filter to say which projects I want to pull in. I'm just going to make sure they're active projects, but I notice you can pull in and filter on anything you want. So you could have roadmaps by portfolio, you could have roadmaps by business unit, roadmaps by types of projects, or by project manager. The world's your oyster there when you want to create these, but I'm just going to keep this simple. We're going to load all the projects in. That created it. It's going to automatically open the roadmap here behind me, and we're going to see the default view of what everything looks like on that timeline. So I've got Q3 2021 through Q2 2022. I can look at any of these projects, I can click on them, I can see the details just above my head there. If I wanted to, I could edit what I'm seeing there, but I've also got some configuration options. I can change how it's coloring these particular bars. So if I wanted to have color coding by maybe portfolio, I turn that on, and now I can see what those colors are by portfolio. If I hide my head here for a second, you can see the color legend. We've got HR, incubation, risk, and empty, and that allows me to see what those colors actually mean. I can even group. So if I change the group here to business unit, now finance, HR, IT projects are all buckets in the left-hand side, so that I can see those and what that timeline looks like. This is interactive too, so if I need to extend this, shorten it, move it around on the timeline, I can drag and drop and change those dates right here from this roadmap. And again, remember, this is not just limited to projects. You can do this with changes, demands, programs, epics, if you have the agile piece, and you can create your own types of roadmaps as well. Once you have this installed, there's some settings you can go in and say, hey, I want to see these particular records that have a start and an end date on my roadmap. Lastly, I'll show you here, you can create new items directly from the roadmap. So if I needed to create a new project, I hit the new button, and now I can start to create my project. If you need assistance with stuff like this, having that high-level view and timeline into your projects or anything within ServiceNow, send us an email at letstalk@crossviews.com.